Boxing Talk A576, man. I want to speak a little bit more on the Mayweather-Berto fight. What I was noticing in the fight, man, see, that's why this Kenny Bayless character, this referee Kenny Bayless, that's why he was brought in. He was brought in so you won't be able to fight on the inside with Mayweather, who people always say that he's a great inside fighter. If he was such a great inside fighter, why would he bring in a referee like Kenny Bayless to break up the inside fighting when guys get up on him? Ever since the Marcus Maidana 1 fight, when he was getting outworked on the inside, out-muscled on the inside versus Marcus Maidana in that first fight, he brought in Kenny Bayless because he don't want an inside fight. He don't want to get roughed up on the inside, so he brought in Kenny Bayless. Any action in the inside, Kenny Bayless is going to break it up. Plain and simple. And let Mayweather start all over with his, put his track shoes on and start over. He constantly had his elbow in Andres Berto's throat, man, all fucking night. He had his elbow in that man's throat all fucking night. And I don't even think he got warned, man. If he got warned, it was a silent warning. I swear to God, man, he was holding and hitting, because it's that combination. You can go back, I forgot what round that was, 8 or 9, when Berto was in the corner. And that combination that Mayweather landed, he held that man on the back of the head 3 times to land punches. And he didn't get warned. Out of the 4 punches that he landed, 3 of them came by way of holding. And 1 of them came clean. He didn't hold in that one. But he held so much, man, to get the punches off. And another thing, I know I heard an interview with Freddie Roach saying that Mayweather was a shot fighter, and that a lot of people gave Freddie Roach hell for saying Mayweather was a shot fighter. Mayweather is a shot fighter. Do you see how many punches he missed against Andre Berto? His check left hook barely even landed. I think his check left hook maybe even landed 1 or 2 times, man. Maybe a little bit more than that. But as much as he attempted it, he missed a lot of lead right hands. Those are his 2 favorite punches. Now, he did land some body shots, but he missed a whole lot of left hooks and a whole load of right hands, lead right hands. And I was looking at the fight. I went to the movie theater because they play his fights in the movie theaters, some movie theaters. And me and my sister's husband was looking at the fight, and I kept telling him, man, he's missing a lot of hooks. He's missing a lot of right hands. And Berto is not even moving his head. It's not like Berto is using crazy angles to where, he throws off Mayweather's accuracy. He wasn't even moving his head. He was coming straight down the pipe, and Mayweather was still missing left hooks and right hands. And then people want to say he put on a brilliant performance. That was not a brilliant performance, man. I gave Berto 2-3 rounds. I thought Mayweather won definitively maybe 4 rounds. That's 7. 5 of them were so close, I don't even know how to even judge him, because half the time Berto was following him around and Mayweather was giving up a lot of ground and he wasn't really doing anything. And then when Berto threw a jab, he missed a couple jabs and maybe land one and throw a right hand, lean in with his body, which he was making a mistake with that. Mayweather would just hold him. So, what? The fight was scored 4 rounds to 3. Mayweather won 4. Berto won 3. And 5. That's why I say, when people say, oh man, how can you do that? it's hard to judge this man fights, man, because he gives up so much ground and he holds so much. He stifled the other person's offense. It's hard to say who won the round, but man, you have to, in that case, you have to get the aggressor who's making the fight the rounds, man. When a guy's coming forward and another guy's giving up so much ground, in the round is so close, you got to give it to an aggressor. So when people say that Berto did real good in the fight, that's not out the question. Berto did just as good as Mayweather did in the fight. He did just as good as Mayweather did in the fight. When you look at the fight, man, just look at the fight. That Kenny Bayless character, I mean, Berto fighting two guys. When the guy stops the fight, when y'all fighting on the inside, don't allow you to fight on the inside, and he breaking it up every single time you get on the inside, what are you going to do? I thought Berto fought a spirited fight. I mean, when this fight was made, I said I didn't care who he fought. But I heard a lot of channels, Mayweather supporters, saying that Berto's going to get stopped. Berto was going to get beat up. Man, as a matter of fact, Berto did not even have a knot on his face. We all know, ever since the Guerrero fight, the Ortiz fight, the Soto Karass fight, that Berto gets crazy swelled up. I'm talking about crazy. I'm talking about looking like a raccoon in the face. Do y'all know Berto didn't have a scratch on his face? Mayweather was the one that had the puffy eyes. Mayweather was the one that had the puffy eyes, and Berto came out unscathed, and Berto got dominated in the fight. It's amazing. It's amazing how Berto got dominated in this fight, and he came out unscathed. I'm talking about, I seen Berto, and usually the swelling gets worse the next day. Berto was on TMZ, walking with bags with his, I think that was his girlfriend that was with him. And usually the swelling gets worse, and his face looked like he never was in the fight, man. Man, and then you got the, I didn't mention this, I didn't talk about this, but you got Mayweather taking IVs. I mean, this is crazy, man. This is crazy. Craziness. I'm glad he's gone. I hope he stay gone, so these guys can get to some real fighting. They don't have to wait on this guy. I'm tired of guys like Amir Khan. You know, I'm tired of you know, Keith Thurman. I'm tired of a lot of fighters, you know, waiting on see what Mayweather's gonna do. Now, it's still gonna go on for another year, whether he's gonna come back or not, because it's fresh. People still gonna say, oh, he may come back, he may not come back. I hope the guy stays gone, man. He made a lot of money. They said reportedly he made $750 million. I'm glad he got his money. Boxing is a, you know, tough sport. You know, he's financially stable. Like he said, he got all his faculties. So just walk away from the sport, so these young guys can come up and we can start seeing, you know, some great fights. Because this is the reason why boxing is a young man's sport. It's because a young fighter wants to prove himself and wants to be great and wants to go out there and put everything on the line. And an old fighter like Mayweather, you know, he just want to sit back. He don't want hard confrontation. He wants to pick the referee so he don't have to fight on the inside. You know, he wants to choose his opponents. When people sit back and realize that this man is choosing his opponents, he's choosing his opponents and still going out there and having dud fights, man. He's choosing the guys and still having dud fights. When you choose a guy like Andre Berto and you choose this guy for the specific reason because you said the Manny Pacquiao fight was boring. You said that fight was boring, which you was a participant in that fight. So that means you was boring too. That means you and Manny was boring. And you pick this guy, and then the same thing happens. Man, y'all tell me what y'all think. Do y'all want Mayweather to come back, or do y'all want these other guys to do something? And tell me who's the best welterweight now that Mayweather's retired. This is Boxing Talk 8576. I'm out.